Every decision has a cost, even the ones that look free. Opportunity cost is one of the most powerful and misunderstood economic concepts. This video explains how ignoring opportunity cost leads to bad business decisions, weak policies, and inefficient supply chains. I will explain a concept that secretly runs your life from the coffee you bought this morning to massive government policies. So what is opportunity cost? The simplest definition is this: it is the value of the next best alternative you give up when you make a choice. Think about it. When you decide to spend an hour scrolling through social media, the opportunity cost isn't just that hour. It's what you could have done instead. Maybe that was an hour of reading a book, working on a side hustle, or even just getting some much-needed sleep. You didn't just spend time. You traded it for something else. This is why opportunity cost is so powerful yet so often invisible. We're wired to focus on what we gain, the immediate satisfaction of our choice. We see the new phone we bought, but we don't see the weekend trip we could have taken with that same money. The cost is the missed opportunity, the road not taken, and that's a much harder thing to quantify and feel in the moment. Let's look at a real-world business example that's been huge recently: supply chains. After the pandemic, many companies faced a big decision. Should they stick with cheaper, more efficient, just-in-time manufacturing, where parts arrive right when they're needed? Or should they switch to a more resilient but more expensive model, like holding more inventory or diversifying suppliers? A 2023 report from McKinsey highlighted this exact dilemma. The choice to stick with the super-efficient, low-cost supply chain means accepting a higher risk of disruption. The opportunity cost of saving money on inventory is the potential for massive losses if one link in that chain breaks. On the other hand, building a resilient supply chain costs more upfront. The opportunity cost of that security is lower profit margins in the short term. Companies like Apple and Walmart are constantly weighing these trade-offs. They're not just asking how much does this cost, but what are we giving up by choosing this path over another? Now let's scale this up to the level of government and politics. This is where opportunity cost becomes incredibly important, but also, frustratingly, often ignored. Why do politicians seem to have a blind spot for this? Well, it's about incentives. A politician gets credit for what they build: a new stadium, a new highway, a new social program. These are visible, tangible things they can point to and say, "I did that." It's much harder to get credit for the things they didn't do. Imagine a city government has $1 billion. They can use it to build a fancy new light rail system. The ribbon-cutting ceremony will be on the news. Everyone will cheer. But what's the opportunity cost? That same $1 billion could have been used to upgrade all the city's schools, hire more teachers, and reduce class sizes. Or it could have been given back to the taxpayers, who could have invested it, started businesses, or just spent it, stimulating the economy in a different way. There is no ribbon-cutting ceremony for the schools we could have improved or the small businesses that might have been started. The benefits of the chosen project are concentrated and visible, while the costs, the lost opportunities, are diffuse and invisible. This is a classic political calculation. It's easier to sell a shiny new project than to explain the complex long-term benefits of an alternative that never came to be. This isn't to say that the light rail is always the wrong choice. The point is that the debate is often framed incorrectly. The question shouldn't just be, is this a good project? It should be, is this the best possible use of these resources compared to all the other alternatives? When we fail to ask that second question, we're ignoring opportunity cost, and we're probably not making the best decision. So how can we, in our own lives, start applying this powerful way of thinking? It's about changing the questions you ask yourself before making a decision. Instead of just asking, "Can I afford this?" start asking, "What else could I do with this money?" Buying a $5 fancy coffee every day is about $1,800 a year. The question isn't whether you can afford the $5 today. It's whether you prefer 365 coffees over, say, a high-end laptop, a fantastic vacation, or a significant boost to your investment account. When you frame it that way, the choice becomes much clearer. The same goes for your time, which is your most finite resource. When you're deciding whether to binge watch another season of a show, don't just think about whether you have the time. Ask yourself, what is the best possible use of my next 3 hours? Maybe the answer really is relaxing and watching the show. And that's perfectly fine, but by consciously considering the alternatives like learning a new skill, calling a friend, or going for a walk, you ensure you're making an active choice, not just drifting into one. This isn't about making yourself miserable by overanalyzing every tiny decision. It's about being more intentional with the big ones. It's a mental tool to help you align your choices, your money, your time, your energy with what you truly value most. By acknowledging the hidden price of every decision, you empower yourself to choose the path that leads to the future you actually want. From an economic standpoint, understanding opportunity cost is fundamental to understanding human behavior. All of economics is, in essence, the study of scarcity, the fact that we have unlimited wants but limited resources. Opportunity cost is the direct consequence of that scarcity. Every choice involves a trade-off. Recognizing this provides incredible insight. It explains why a country rich in oil might have a less developed manufacturing sector that ease the resource curse, an opportunity cost phenomenon. It explains why you might choose a lower-paying job that you love over a high-paying one you hate. You're valuing personal fulfillment over maximum income. Looking to the future, I believe that as our world becomes more complex, the concept of opportunity cost will become even more critical. Think about major global challenges like climate change. Every dollar we spend on a certain type of green technology is a dollar we can't spend on another. Is it better to invest in massive solar farms or in next-generation nuclear reactors? Or perhaps in carbon capture technology? Each path has a huge opportunity cost. The path we choose will have consequences for generations. Making the best choice requires a brutally honest assessment of what we're giving up. Similarly, with the rise of AI and automation, individuals and societies will face massive opportunity costs. Should a government invest in retraining programs for displaced workers, or in a universal basic income? As individuals, do we spend our time learning new, AI-proof skills, or do we double down on our current expertise? The stakes are incredibly high, and thinking in terms of opportunity cost will be essential for navigating this new landscape successfully. It will force us to be more strategic, more deliberate, and ultimately more effective in building the future we want. It's not just an economic theory. It's a blueprint for smarter decision-making in every aspect of our lives. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope this gives you a new lens to look at the world and your own choices. If you found this valuable, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content just like this. Let me know in the comments, what is a recent decision you made where you can now see the hidden opportunity cost? I'd love to hear about it. See you in the next video.